Hello BookTube, it's Louise the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you, hope you're all well and having a lovely day. Sorry it's a bit glary, but we've got the lovely sun and I can't do anything about that. I don't have any tea or homemade cake to share with you today, but I do have a homemade green juice. I've been juicing for about 10 years and so it's always amuses me when people start going, oh, have you heard of this thing called juicing? It's like, yeah, we're all juicing. We're all been juicing for a while. And eventually everybody's going to stop juicing and I'll still be there. I'll still be juicing. I'm here with wrap up for the first 10 days of August. I'm going away soon, so I won't be posting any more videos. I think I've got one more after this and then that'll be it. There'll be a couple of weeks of silence from me, which will be sad. I will miss you. I'm sure you'll carry on without me regardless. However, I will miss you and I will be thinking of you, BookTube. Oh yes. But so I thought I would do a quick rundown of the books that I have read. I also want to do just a few minutes of shout outs for people that have left comments and I want to say hello to them. I want to say hello to Melissa, who liked the look of Foxlow, as did Jeanette. It's going to be great, isn't it? Hello to Laurie M. I've had some people from very interesting places say hello. So I'd like to say hello to Sandra from Alabama. Oh, Alabama! Between the books, left a comment from Louisiana, from the deep south. Oh my word. Julianne from Yorkshire apparently lives where Dying in the Wool by Frances Brodie was set. Oh, lucky lady. I've had a couple from Edmonton, Canada. I've had Laura, hello Laura, and Vivian, hello Vivian. That's a Big Head Bookworm book club right there, ladies. I need to come. I've also had Steph from Canada. Hello, Steph. I don't know if she's near Edmonton. I mean, Canada is just so vast. That's completely stupid. Nadia from Melbourne, Australia. From Melbourne, Australia, Nadia. Hello. Sophia, brilliant name, mentioned picking up an Agatha book. Do completely agree. There she is, the Queen of Crime herself says, please do. And Lorraine is thinking about reading the Poirots in order. That's a fabulous idea. I never did that. I kind of picked them up as I went along. And in fact, I started with Dumb Witness, which I think comes towards the middle. But I totally think that's a fabulous idea. And I'm quite tempted to join you. Quite tempted on that one. So there we go. That's a couple of shout outs. Hello to everybody else that left some comments to me. I'm reading all of them and I am trying to reply to them all now. So you should actually see that I'm replying to you. But it has been so nice. And I really like the idea of just being able to say hello to you here. Let me crack into the books. It's not too bad. What am I? On the 10th of August here. So we're not doing too bad. I've got quite a few books to show you here. The Mages of Stonewild by Kit Berry was the first one I read. This is about a pagan community, it's magical realism, pagan community that is set in Dorset in England and that has secluded itself from the outside. So it has completely built a big wall around this big area of Dorset and said, this is it. And this is a community that has been there a long time and has been set up with the village folk and the hall folk. And the hall folk are the lords and masters really. And they go and they can work on the outside but they come back and it's about there's a mother and daughter and they are brought into the society and the upheaval that brings. And so you find out about the community from that point. I loved it for its pagan community overview and the fact that they lived the rituals. We go through the seasons, so we go through the pagan rituals when they would celebrate the festivals and what the festivals mean, and that was just marvellous. It was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be as well. I picked it up thinking it would be an airy fairy, magical realism, hearts and flowers, pagan, woo. No, not at all. It was a lot darker from the beginning, the sense of threat from the beginning. And it was interesting to see how it portrayed the feudal aspects and what service means, which is very big in New Age spirituality and, well, I mean, a lot of religion, isn't it? It's about service. So that was fascinating. I really enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. It was a lot darker and I think I enjoyed it because it was darker. So that's The Mages of Stonewild by Kit Berry. Excellent start. The second book I read this month was The Taming of the Queen by Philippa Gregory. Oh my word. Oh my word. This is about Catherine Parr, who is the sixth wife of Henry VIII. Now, I only knew her as the queen that survived, from that rhyme. So it was divorce, beheaded, died, divorce, beheaded, survived. So she was the survived wife. It was amazing. So this is a fictionalised retelling of Catherine's life from her marriage to when he dies. So it's for that kind of 3-year period. And the sense of oppression and threat, and oh my word, didn't she go through a lot? Oh my word. Considering a lot of this was based, in fact, oh my word, why do we not know about her? Why do we not know about what these women go through? The only thing I would say is that how monstrous Philippa conveys Henry VIII. That the pendulum has really swung, because at one point he was a reformist king, and that's what we knew about him, and it's absolutely the other way now, and it was all about how monstrous he is and how tyrannical and honestly, that one scene, if you've read it, we know, don't we? We know what we're talking about here. Gave me nightmares. Yeah. Really fascinating, really just so powerful. Honestly, I did dream about it for a couple of nights because it was invading me. Okay, I went to the library. First of all, the audiobook I listened to was an Agatha. I listened to you, Agatha. And it was The Crooked House. I cannot find my copy of it anywhere. I think it must be in the garage in a box. Because I know I have it and I know exactly what the front cover looks like. It's one of the odd ones. It's fine. It's not a Miss Marple or a Poirot. It's a good mystery. Unfortunately, I remembered who did it after about 5 minutes. Took the suspense away a little bit. But I did really enjoy it. I did enjoy it. The only thing I would say about this one is I find her a little bit, her male-female roles and her view of it, towards the later books, I can find that she can appear very old-fashioned, and I got that. Once or twice I kind of winced a little bit, but it didn't take away from the enjoyment. Agatha, I would never criticise. I am such an ardent fan, but I did notice that a little bit with you, just a little bit. But it was good. It was still good. So that's The Crooked House by Agatha. And then I went to the library. Me and Benedict went to the library, wanted to return some books. So I picked up a couple. And the joy of a library book is that you can try it. And if you don't like it, there's no guilt. There's no guilt, is there? You can just put it away. So I picked up Sweet to Ruin by Cresley Cole. Now, JBE Chap left a comment thanking me for recommending the Cresley Cole series and asking me another question about Cresley Cole. And unfortunately, it wasn't me that recommended it to you, because I've never read any Cresley Cole. So there's a booktuber out there who did recommend it to you, and it's not me. But I was very pleased that you contacted me anyway, because when I saw Cresley Cole, I thought, I'll have a go, because this is an Immortals After Dark novel. And I thought, okay, somebody recommended it, and obviously said how much they enjoyed it. I'll give it a go. Unfortunately, this is number 15 in the Immortals After Dark series. And I started reading it. I got about 30 pages in and realised you actually really need to read them in order. You can't just pick up. You can't pick and choose. So I have downloaded the first one, which is called, let me have a look, The Warlord Wants Forever. So that's a novella. And so I've downloaded that onto my Kindle. It's paranormal romance, isn't it? The Warlord Wants Forever. And if I like it, I shall pick up the next one, which has got just a great title. A Hunger Like No Other. I say, sounds like it could have a bit of sauce in there. So I can't tell you what Cresley Cole's like, unfortunately, but I'm going to give it a go. The next book I tried was Seasons of Desire by Sadie Matthews. Again, contemporary romance. I thought I'd give it a go because they had all 4 in the series. Season of Desire, Season of something, Season of something. Oh, it was rubbish. I'm not gonna prevaricate on this. Rubbish. For those people that like Sadie Matthews, fill your boots. Me, not so much, not so much. It was Poor Little Rich Girl, and if it's going to be a Poor Little Rich Girl, she has to be likeable. Oh, she's a pain in the bum. And then I flicked on and read one of the saucy scenes. No, not for me. Not for me, thank you very much. So Sadie and I have parted company and will not be getting together again. The last book I picked up was Embers by Sandor Murray. I've not heard anybody else talk about this. This is Hungarian modern literary fiction. It's translated by Carol Brown Janeway, which automatically makes me think of Star Trek Voyager and the most wonderful voice in the world, Captain Janeway. My favourite Star Trek voyage is Voyager. Just so you know. No Way You Stand With Me. You know, Chakotay. Apparently the husband thought that 6 of 9 looked like she had a nice personality. It wasn't her personality he was interested in, but I am digressing. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this modern Hungarian literary fiction that I picked up. It's a tour de France, apparently, a tour de force. I had never heard of it. Perhaps you're looking at me going, oh yeah, Embers by Sandor. Oh yeah. I've read all the modern Hungarian literary fiction. I'd never heard of it. It is magnificent, as the Times says. It is about 2 men getting together after not seeing each other, not communicating with each other after 41 years. It's set in Hungary in the beginning of the 19th century. And they are old friends. But an event happened 41 years ago that meant that they never spoke to each other again. And the woman that was also at that meal, that dinner, neither of them have seen her. So you know something happened, but you don't know what it is. And it's, for such a short book, big text, it is quite slow, and it's full of character development. It's full of it's not them developing, it's you understanding them. Your understanding of them slowly develops, and the whole story is about unravelling what happened. It all unfolds in front of you. It's a book of 2 halves, so you get to the middle and then it changes pace and it becomes almost a different book, and it is utterly compelling, as it says on the book. It is utterly compelling, and it kind of got me after about a third way. For the first third I was reading it, I literally was sat there with my arms folded going, oh yeah. And then somehow by halfway through I didn't realise it, but I was utterly captivated and I couldn't stop thinking about it. When I wasn't reading it, I was thinking about it. And, you know, for a historical novel, what they were talking about felt fresh. And you only do hear from these 3 characters. Well, you don't hear from the woman at all. So it's quite amazing. An amazing achievement in that respect. And I finished it and felt like I was in a spin because I'd been through an experience reading it. So it was really impressive. Not going to lie, I picked it up thinking it was a vampire novel, looking at that cover. So you can imagine when I realised it was a Hungarian modern literary classic, I did kind of go, But I'm so glad I did think it was a vampire novel, and so otherwise I wouldn't have picked it up. So it phenomenal. But then I'm going to be quick about this one, but I then got irritated afterwards. So I really passionately enjoy it, and then it isn't this book's fault, but it was going on about male friendship. A lot of it is about male friendship and the relationship between these 2 male characters and what male friendship is. I'm not a man. I don't know what male friendship is like. I don't know. But it talks about how special it is and how different it is and how it's very elevated above all other relationships. Not all other relationships, but it was incredibly elevated, and it's so delved into and it's so spoken about. And it's the male protagonist. It's the emphasis on the importance of the male experience. I'm finding so much literary fiction at the moment, maybe it's just I'm just becoming very aware of it, is from the male's point of view, and it's the male experience is the important one. It's not enough that the women in the book, there's not enough that it was 2 men and 1 woman that was at that event, because you never hear from that woman, you never hear from her. And all the women who were characters in this book were in relation to the men. So it was the mother, it was the wife, it was the nanny. They weren't there in their own right. And I keep reading books that happens. In literary fiction, I keep reading books where the male experience is the one that is seen as the more profound. So it's an excellent book to read. Completely recommend it. Thoroughly enjoy it. But I do have that reservation. But I think that reservation is what I'm experiencing at the moment. It is what I'm aware of at the moment. And having said that, Booker, Man Booker Prize, I am watching you like a hawk, because you are appalling at choosing anything that is from a female experience and that has a female protagonist. So if, again, the long list, we see all the female experience drop out, which does happen, and it's the male experience that is the important one. I'm watching. Got my beady eye on you, and I just opened that up. So that was my only reservation with that book. Phenomenal experience, really enjoyed it, so glad I read it, and then I got myself really cranky afterwards when I read that. And there we go. There we go. Aren't you glad I'm doing this in several parts? Otherwise this would be the longest video known to man, and nobody wants that. So I shall just quickly show you my books again. There we go, so that's what I delved in, or didn't. Got my green juice to calm me down after my little rant. And yes, hello to everybody that commented. And let's do this again, book. It's been lovely. Bye.